if he follows a lot of girls on Instagram, do you think that's a red flag?
Oh my God, yeah. I wouldn't think about it as much when he was single, but like if he continued to up that as he was dating someone, I'd be like, girl, why is your man following 50 new attractive women since you guys started dating? Welcome back to another episode of Mean Girl Pod. Today I'm feeling peachy keen.
And now you've got the real peach. There it is. That looks good.
Also, it matches the nails perfectly.
Oh my gosh, it does. It looks really cute. How does that taste? Like peach?
Oh, it's very peachy. Just like mango, I'm not like a huge peachy person. Like I just don't gravitate towards peach flavors. But if you are someone who does, this is your kind of drink. It has like that strong peach taste, and the aftertaste is really refreshing. So it's good.
Man, every time I'm starting to see these claws everywhere.
Right? Because this podcast is presented by Monster Energy Ultra. And in a couple months, Alex will be able to join me. But not right now. Sorry.
But not today. Now I just sit jealous of you for you drinking it. I think, oh, I wish.
Yes.
But there will be a day and I will be chugging it.
There will be a day. And also, before we get into today's episode, so Julie doesn't kill me, we want to let everyone know, if you guys are new listeners here, we are going to be talking all about red and green flags in relationships. And that's going to be after our touch base. Because sometimes when we have new listeners, they're like, what are these two girls rambling about? I'm new here. Who is Harrison? Who is Pete? What do you mean you live in Texas? What do you mean you live in New York and you want to live in Florida? So if you're like, I don't care about your personal lives, you can skip ahead to the red flags.
So true. Great little update. What is going on in your life?
So I can give you a birthday update now because
Yes, please.
I had it. So birthday was great. Like I said, we went to Rhode Island and we just had like a very relaxed day. Played pickleball, hung out with my parents, Elroy. Pete got me a watch, which I wish I could wear. Oopsie. I wish I could have on right now to show you guys. But you know when you get watches, they're too big. So you have to get them fixed. I just have a little dainty wrist, so I have to get my watch fixed.
Wow, darn for being so dainty.
So I'll be able to hopefully wear it in an episode soon, but it's like my first adult watch, so I'm so excited to wear it.
I mean, that was such a thoughtful gift of him. He is a good gift giver. Did you mention you wanted that?
So I've made comments here and there that I really need to stop wearing my Apple Watch when I go to like weddings or nice dinners, just because it's not really the most glamorous look to have your Apple Watch on with like a nice dress. So I've just like mentioned it here and there, and he was like, this is your big girl watch that you can wear when you have events and nice occasions to go to. And I was like, oh, I love this.
Wait, that was so nice of him.
Yes, he was very thoughtful with his gift. Like, I mean, I'm not surprised at all, but it was a great gift and a great birthday. Very relaxing, but I loved it.
That's such a good gift. Okay, I'm very impressed with him.
Yeah, so that was fun. I started back on birth control as of Sunday.
Okay, how do we feel?
So far the same. I think it takes like 2 months to get back on for birth control to kick in. So hopefully by August I'm like feeling good.
Okay, I thought that it was like instant, but okay, so to really feel the effects, it does take a bit.
Yeah, I think like protection is faster. Like I think it takes like 2 weeks for the protection part to kick in, but for it to actually change your symptoms, the doctor was like, don't judge it for at least 2 months. And I was like, fine.
Darn. Okay, well that's really good to know though.
Yeah, so I'll keep you guys posted, but yeah, thank God I'm good at taking pills regularly, because I've almost forgot, even like me, I've almost forgotten to take the pill every morning. It is hard to remember.
Oh, do you have an alarm set on your phone?
No, I just try to keep it next to like my toner I use every morning before the gym. And I'm just like, oh, it's right there.
Yeah, I've always thought that would be the hardest part, is remembering to take the pill. But it's so important because you don't want to miss a day, do you?
No, I was just going to say they should invent something where all your pills are in one place, but that is called a pill box, and it was invented many years ago.
Somebody thought of that one. It's just, then you have to remember, you still have to remember to take the pill box.
Oh my God. How do you feel not having your period? I think I've asked you that, how you feel not having your period.
Oh, it's so funny. Me and my friend were talking about this today, because like the doctor always asks you, when was your last period? You know, and you're like, December 15th. But hold on, sorry. I feel, I mean, I can't. So I thought the other day, I was like, so funny because I've been in the pool a lot because I never realized why pregnant people just sit in pools, but it takes the pressure off your back. So I've just been like really, like I even took some calls the other day from a pool. I just feel so freaking good in a pool. And I was like, so odd because I usually have like worried about my hairline. But I was like, oh my God, I can't even see my hairline. So like, I don't care. I couldn't even tell you what it looks like. I can't even remember your question. How do you feel not having a period? Yeah. So I can't even imagine having a period because it would be so hard to get down there. Like the bigger the belly gets. So it's nice that the period stops while you're pregnant, but all these other things come. So it's so funny.
Can you imagine putting in a tampon when you are pregnant? Like, yeah, I didn't even think of it. You'd be like, to put it in the back.
Oh my God, it would send me. Like if I had to worry about just like bleeding through, I would just be distraught.
You'd be like, I don't even care. Like, bleed through all my pants. Like, I have bigger fish to fry when I'm pregnant.
No kidding. And like I recently got off I stopped my nausea meds cold turkey on Friday night because what was happening was somebody messaged me this. The way my nausea medicine worked was it blocked your dopamine and serotonin receptors. So, and it took I was on them for a month and a half and I was feeling like I could get out of bed. And so that was great, but I started feeling like so flat and like just exhausted and like I could not function. I was like, what is happening? And this girl messaged me and was like, check your nausea medicine. And so, yeah, so I'm getting off that now. So I'm a bit more sick, but less. Like I don't think I'm coming. I think I'm starting to come back. But yeah, it was really like taking a hit on me. So I'm happy to be off that. And that's, yeah. I was so happy though. Like the power of social media was really helpful that she told me that.
What? That's actually terrifying that a nausea medication can cause like depressive spells in somebody. Like if you weren't pregnant, can it also cause it? Or is it just because there's a hormone in you with pregnancy that messes with it?
No, if you weren't, so they give it to people to help like digest food. So like times I would get really sick would be like right after I ate. And so they give it to cancer patients too to help break down food in you. So I think it can happen to anybody because it says it on like the main site. Like one of their top things is like blocks the serotonin and dopamine receptors. And in turn, you're less nauseous.
So you either have to pick like, do I want to throw up every day or do I not want to get out of bed because I'm just feeling so flat?
Yeah, exactly. And so, yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. I'm talking to my doctor. I was trying to like make a run on no nausea medicine, but like I'm going to Europe, and it's like, that's an 11-hour flight. I can't. So I got to figure, I'm going to see.
Oh my God, Alex. Are you excited for Europe though? You leave next week?
Yeah, I leave. I'm in San Francisco right now, or I'm in Napa right now for my brother and future sister-in-law's wedding. And then I go from here to Spain on Sunday. And I'm so excited.
Wait, have you been to Spain?
Well, I've been to Barcelona because I studied abroad there, but I'm going to Mallorca.
Oh, yes.
But I haven't been to Mallorca. And I'm pumped
How can
about
I forget?
that. Yeah, right. Good old me studying abroad. But I am
good old roofie days.
Good old roofling. I know. I wonder. It's so funny when stories like that come up because I'm like that's an example of a story that like I haven't told Harrison. I don't think that I will tell him. Like I'm just like, oh yeah.
Oh, Dad.
Isn't that funny?
One day your future daughter will be like, Mom, Dad, I want to study abroad. And you're going to be like, watch your drink. And Harrison's going to be like, yeah, but why?
I'm going to probably be like, oh, her studying abroad will actually be really hard. I'll be like, oh, I don't know.
I know. Because you're like, I remember all the things that I did when I studied abroad.
Yeah, I don't know if I can let her. That's not fair, I guess.
Wait, so did I make it up that you're going to Paris?
No. So I was going to go to Paris after Mallorca, but I just need to go home. So we're going to stop in London for a couple days because London flies direct to Austin and it's on the way back anyway. So instead of connecting through there, we're just going to stop, go to a hotel for 3 days and then fly direct. I couldn't believe London flew direct to Austin, but they do.
Wait, that's amazing. I've never been to Spain. Very high on my bucket list. I've heard it's beautiful. Are you going with Harrison's family, right?
Yes, I'm so excited. Quick pause to talk about whey, because there is nothing more frustrating than trying to find a shampoo and conditioner combo that caters to your hair type. Do you ever feel like hair can sometimes be a little one size fits all, but it's not your size? Well, that's why whey is the absolute best, and it gives you the confidence to live your life your way, pun intended, especially on hair wash day, because us girls, we know exactly what hair wash day is, and it is so important. So whether your hair is fine, medium, or thick, whey has a shampoo and conditioner that's your type. From volume and shine to deeply hydrating, whey finds your way to really, really good hair. So Jordyn and I absolutely love whey hair products. We always want it to look like we just got a blowout. Jordyn loves to have her hair have the shine. I love the detox dry shampoo. So everything that whey has to offer is amazing, and their branding's just really cute. So if you're not sure what your type of hair is, they do have a hair quiz you can take, which is incredible. And you guys get obviously a discount. So wash your way, pun intended, to healthier hair with shampoos and conditioners made just for you. Go to theway.com, THEOUAI.com, and use code MEANGIRL for 15% off your entire purchase. That's, okay, it's not spelled like W-A-Y. It's THEOUAI.com, code MEANGIRL. Enjoy.
Wait, fun. Like mom and dad, or like sister too, or
yeah, mom, dad, sister, brother-in-law. His mom's 70th birthday. So they travel though, like they just do, they've been on like safaris, like they've been to they have all these books of these places. Like they're really good at traveling. And so I'm so excited for that, because I don't know, I've just never been to like all these exotic places.
I love that. I know, I feel like growing up there was like 3 buckets of families. Like the families that wouldn't travel, the families that would just do like the traditional like Caribbean vacations, like Mexico, Bahamas, and then you'd have the families like every year it'd be like an African safari, a world tour around London, Europe, and I was always like, that'd be wild. But I knew people like every year it was like this crazy excursion they would go on as a family.
Yeah, and I think I was like the middle camp, right?
Same.
Yeah, and I want to be the third camp where we go on these exotic vacations, because that your kids also learn to travel. I think like how to pack and to travel really easy. But like I want to take them on a safari and things.
I think even if it's just out of state, taking your kids at a young age to travel is so important, because you learn just so many life lessons when you travel.
So many life lessons. And sorry, I'm dying.
Oh, that's okay.
I need to have your monster, although I know I can't, but that would be a great little help. What was I thinking about travel earlier? Oh, so they say that like the kids can't remember. Like, do you have a memory for when you're like 3 or 4? Like a real memory?
Oh my God. You know what? Someone asked me what my earliest childhood memory was, and I said like a late age, and someone was like, you're joking. And then I like thought about it, and it was earlier. But when I think about like my first like real memory, I'm like in 2nd grade when my teacher's pulling my tooth.
Okay. Yeah. Teachers help you get memories, because you can place things.
When I was 3 or 4, maybe like eating a peanut butter and jelly sandwich on a deck, but not like a distinctive like I remember being in 2nd grade,
right,
when this happened. Yeah, I don't know. Do you?
No, I've really been trying to think, because I want to know when, when do you want to take this baby on something that she'll remember? And I can think back to all
maybe
my
like
teachers.
5 or 6.
Yeah, I think same. Like I'm trying to think like, when did I have a memory? But then there is the school of thought of like, if you were on a vacation, I do think you have a memory of it. I don't know. The memory thing is so odd. But like when you're at their first birthday party, like, no, they don't know who came. Second, they don't know.
Actually, I do remember one vacation. I think I was 4 years old. I was in Jamaica with my parents, but I only remember it because they left me behind at the resort because I like asked them to. I wanted to go to the play area, and they went into town, and I just remember thinking the whole time, they're never gonna come back to get me. They're never gonna come back to get me, and that's why I remember the memory because of the trauma.
That's right. Oh my gosh. I was thinking the other day about like the amount of times my parents just went to dinner that I just convinced myself they had died.
Oh my God. If my mom said she's going to be home at 6 o'clock and it becomes 6:01, I used to be like, Mom, where are you? And then if she wouldn't answer her phone, I would be like, she's dead. She's never coming back.
Yeah, like the attachment you have to your parents at that, it's like so cute and sweet, but like, oh, I would be hysterical.
I know my mom actually this past weekend, she goes, I don't understand why you have such this fear of abandonment. She's like, I never abandoned you as a child. I was always early because like her mom was always late and my mom always was like my grandma would forget to pick up my mom. Like my mom should be having the fear of abandonment. And I'm like, I wonder if somehow like through second nature, you like gave that to me because my mom she never gave me a reason to feel abandoned. So I'm like, where did this come from?
That's so fascinating because I would think due to the fear of abandonment that like she did forget to pick you up, but not if she was overcorrecting from her mom.
I know. And I'm like, I don't know because I can't ever remember a time when my mom abandoned me because she never did.
Yeah, no, my mom was the same. Like she never left me. I never got forgotten at school. She never was late. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, I can so see me forgetting. Like, I don't want that. I don't want my daughter to be afraid of that. But I'm just like, I'm going to have to set an alarm to remind
myself. It's going to be so
myself.
exciting to see like what kind of personality your daughter has. Cause she could be like a wild child, or I could see her being a little bit more relaxed. Cause I feel like Harrison's a little bit more relaxed.
Definitely.
But you were a wild child, weren't you?
Like a like not spazzy, but like an excited child, but not like,
yeah.
I didn't break like a lot of rules type thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Just like sassy.
Yeah, and spirited, I think.
I like that, spirited.
So I don't know what she'll be like. It's so funny. I saw this cute little girl in the airport with her mom, and this girl was like 10, and they both, you go through the security like scan, the body scan, put your arms up for 3 seconds thing. So like mom went through and then daughter went through and the mom was standing and just like put her hands backwards. And like the little girl just came up and like grabbed them. And I thought to myself, okay, that was so sweet. Like, did she raise that or was that daughter born like that?
That's a good question. It's also so interesting to see how certain moms act. Cause like I was in an airport once and this mom was like, can you hold my baby for a second? And I'm like, I could run away with your baby.
No.
You know how some moms are just so relaxed?
Yes.
And then some are like, you're holding on to me the entire time.
Okay, I did see this at the rental car place. There was a mom there. She was holding a baby and she was holding a toddler's hand and she had like the big stroller. She was in a fight with the rental car girl. She had rented it on Expedia. The girl didn't have the reservation. I don't know. And there's a long line behind her. There's only one agent working. And in the middle of it, the little boy goes, I go poop. And she was like, no, you're not wearing a pull-up. Like, do not go poop right now. And he's like, I'm pooping. And so she just looked at the agent with like, just like helplessness in her eyes. And she's like, and she just starts walking. She's like, I have to take him to the bathroom. And she left the stroller there. And she was just like, I have to leave that. I have to go. And I was like, this is just like fight or flight mode for this poor mom who like didn't have the dad there, was doing it by herself. There was a long line and like she left the stroller. And I thought I used to probably would have been like, get it together. But now I just wanted to be like, can I hold one? How do I help you? You know?
Right?
Yeah.
I know. You really start to feel for people as time goes, especially to like living in a chaotic place or being around chaotic situations. You're just like, I feel for your pain. Instead of like, get your life together. This is embarrassing. You're just like, I got you, girl. Like, how can I help you?
Yeah. And like the agent lady, I think she was a mom because she was just like, they were arguing. And then she was like, leave the stroller, go. Like, just like everyone flipped to like, and it was really sweet. And everyone in line was calm. And I was just like, good. Because some people, you know, sometimes people can be assholes about that. Let's talk about ZocDoc, because sometimes searching for the right doctor is like bad Mad Libs. For example, you need a blank specialist. Let's say you need a dermatologist specialist who takes your blank insurance, who is within blank miles of you, right? Because no one wants to drive over an hour, who doesn't have a blank month wait to get in for your appointment. Yeah, anything like up to have a month wait appointment is crazy. Who doesn't keep you waiting in the waiting room for blank amount of hours? Yeah, no hours in the waiting room. Finding a doctor, you guys, can be so exhausting. Part of adulting is we just have to go to the doctor, and doctors are so important, but they can be really hard to find, especially one that's in your network. That's why ZocDoc is so helpful. It's a free app and website where you can search and compare highly quality in-network doctors, choose the right one for your needs, and click instantly to book an appointment. We're talking about in-network appointments with more than 100,000 healthcare providers across every specialty, from mental health to dental health, eye care to skincare, and so much more. So you guys, stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/meangirl. That's ZocDoc.com/meangirl to instantly book your top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/meangirl. ZocDoc/meangirl.
Yeah, I don't know how I I don't even, what's the word? Not commend. Is commend a word?
Yeah, like clap for
I commend.
a flip.
Yeah, I commend for not just single moms, but moms who are just like alone that day without their partner. Because yesterday, so to get into my apartment, you have to walk up 2 stairs, which doesn't seem like a big deal. But if you are in a wheelchair, there's no way you're getting up there if you have a stroller. And this mom was like, "Can you help me open the door and like pull the stroller up?" And I was like, "Of course." But in my head, I'm like, what do you do every day when you're going in and out of the apartment with your child and you're all alone?
Yeah. Well,
And you have like bags? I'm like, why don't we have a ramp?
yeah. Why? Yeah. No kidding. Like that. The whole stroller saga. That was an example of something that like in New York is just harder to do than it is in Austin.
Oh my God, subways? I don't know how you guys do it.
No, and then like people are less likely. I'm having to retrain myself to like walk before a guy. Like if an elevator opens, it's like they're all stopping and it's like, "Oh, okay, I'm going." You know, and it's just like and they're more likely to help you with like kids and hold the door open, you know, things like that.
I didn't even think about that, but I bet Austin is a very great, very nice place to be when it comes to needing little things done, because the chivalry is just so much better in Texas.
Yes, and like they won't, or there's so many more kids.
Yeah, you get your door like slammed in your face in New York, or like someone would be like, "You think I have the time to help you and your kid right now?"
Right, everyone's like in a rush, and you're like, okay. Yeah, I think like the amount of mom tears that I would cry in New York would be like triple, I think, in Austin, of like bad days, you know?
Do you guys have any house updates?
No, just like, since we're gone now for a week and a half, our deadline to like pick is Monday, like, well, when this comes out. So we have 3 we like. It's just like rent versus buy, and the reason there is, do we want to rent because to make sure we love the location, or do we want to go ahead and buy just because like I want a home, and I can't decide that. Harrison's like really just like kind of letting me pick, and I just really can't. I don't know yet, because I don't want to make a short-term decision and then hate it, you know, in 3 months. But there's some really good options. I just need to like figure out what I want.
Yeah. Well, and you're in a unique situation too, because a lot of times when people move to a different state, it's because of like a more like 9 to 5 job where like they don't really have the opportunity. They don't see themselves moving anytime soon. But for you guys, like you have the flexibility. So if you hated Austin in a couple months, you could leave if you wanted to. So you don't have as much tying you down, which makes it, I would believe, harder to make a more permanent decision.
Yes. I agree. But I will say like the more we're in Austin, the more I get like confirmation in Harrison too, that I just like love it. And so that part's really exciting. Like I'm excited for our life there. This house thing, I'm so excited to get the house thing. Like I really want to do the nursery and like that whole thing.
Oh, it's gonna be so fun. I love that. Do you want to get into red flags?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so before we get into the listener submissions, do you have any personal red flag stories, like when you were dating guys, or like friends from, or your stories from friends where you were just like, that was a red flag?
Okay. Yeah, if he follows a lot of girls on Instagram, do you think that's a red flag?
Oh my God, yeah. Well, I mean, I guess it depends. Like, are we talking about like sexy supermodels?
Yeah, they're pretty attractive girls.
Yeah. I like maybe not as much. I wouldn't think about it as much when he was single, but like if he continued to up that as he was dating someone, I'd be like, girl, why is your man following 50 new attractive women since you guys started dating?
Yeah, I've always loved that one. That question.
Yeah. Did you ever have any red flag stories of guys you dated, like in high school or college?
Okay, do you?
I feel like red flags weren't a term back then.
No, they weren't. Do you have any?
Well, like I always think about I mean, you know, all the guys I dated were red flags before Pete, but like the biggest one was when I dated that one guy and he chose, like him and I got in a very big fight. I was like bawling and we were supposed to spend the day together and he was like, I'm just going to go party with my friends and drink all day. And I was like, you'd rather drink instead of working through this argument? And he was like, yeah. Like, that's a red flag. A man choosing a substance over you, or choosing a substance. And it's not like he was picking his friends over me. He was choosing a substance because he didn't want to work through the conflict we were dealing with in that moment. He was like, I'd much rather get drunk than work through problems with you.
Yeah, like the coping mechanism was he couldn't cope. So in turn, he had to turn to something that like numbed it. Always scary. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of... Oh, that one guy, the astronaut that I dated, when he was, a red flag was none of you guys liked him when you met him at your Halloween party.
Very true.
And like when our old manager called him a piece of furniture, I was like, okay, these are red flags.
And we said, wait, what's furniture? And he goes, it's just there.
Yeah. That's a red flag. And I'm trying to think like red flags when I first, like on first dates, I feel like, I don't know if I can't really think of like red flags when first dating other than maybe them asking like a little bit too much of intrusive questions, or like if they're on their phone during a first date.
I'm trying to think.
This wasn't a red flag for dating purpose, but this should have been a red flag to like not ever talk to this man at the bar. But one time I was with some of my friends and we were talking to this one guy and he had a Coke spoon necklace. Well, and I didn't know what that was at the time. This is when I first moved to New York, and I like figured out a few hours in because I saw him do Coke, and then we were like, whoa, we're not going to talk to you anymore. But like right away, I should have been like, what's that little spoon around his neck? Oh, it's a Coke spoon.
Wow. To wear that around your neck is like you're so proud of it.
Right? And like my friends were like, yeah, welcome to New York. This was like, I'm not kidding, like maybe a month, 2 months into living here. I was like, okay, different than Minnesota.
Wow. Yeah, that would be a major red flag. Let's see. Okay, a red flag on a date. Listen, I don't think being super late is a red flag because, like, if he's coming from work, I'm okay with that. Like, sometimes you can't. I think, like, maybe drinking too much on a first date, like ordering excessive drinks and kind of chugging them. We could chalk that up to nerves, though. Like,
yeah, that's actually such a good point. Like, I'm all about you doing you, but when you go on a date, I always had a minimum of like 2 drinks on a first date, 3 if the vibes are right. But like after 2 drinks, I feel like you got to check yourself, especially if the person isn't drinking, because I've had friends who've gone on sober dates, or like the guy sober and they're not, and they're like, he never called me back, and I'm like, how many drinks did you have? And they're like 3 or 4, maybe 5, I don't remember, but they said it was fine, and I'm like, oh my God, this is why.
Yeah. And you're like, there it is. That's, yeah. I think like you just get like hammered. You just start to say things that you don't mean.
What were some green flags that Harrison presented to you where you were like, this is a green flag? Like, he will be a good guy to get involved with.
Well, right out of the gates, he was a really good planner. And on our first date, I thought he was a really good communicator. And but the first green flag, like in terms of character, I remember he gave it to me like early on. He was like, how was your day? And I was like, good. You know, like I couldn't remember anything. I don't know what I said. And I said, how was your day? And he was like, it was great. It was good. And then it came up like 30 minutes later that they'd gotten into like CVS or something. Like they had a pretty monumental day and they had got flock in. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like, and he just kind of slipped that it had happened. And I was like, oh my gosh, why didn't you tell me that earlier? And he was like, because the good days got to be as good as the bad days too. Like I can't get too high and I can't get too low. And I remember like little things like that he would give me. I remember thinking like, this is also somebody like that can apply to so many different facets of life.
I also feel like he never played games with you either. Like you two were right from the get-go, like very honest about your feelings, and you never once were like, I don't know if he likes me. It was just like such good communication.
Oh, that's a really good point. He did never play games. What about Pete? What were his green flags? I feel like he was no games either for sure.
Yeah, so like the three greenest flag. I mean, Pete is a green flag, like the definition of a green flag, but these three big for me were, I never once felt anxious in the beginning of dating. I still don't. Like, he was always so open and honest about communicating. And, like, I always knew the next time I was going to see him before he, like, left to hang out. He was always like, I would love to see you again. When can I see you next? Which I really appreciated because, you know, time is very important to me. And he knew that. Another one was, and this is so sad to think about, but I remember I had a really hard day. And he was like, how was your day? And I was just like, it wasn't great. How was yours? And most people would be like, my day was blah, blah, blah. But he was like, let's talk about it. Like, what happened? What went wrong? Like, do you want to talk about it? And then my last one is, this isn't really, I don't know if this is a green flag for everyone, but this is like what really changed the game was I remember maybe like 2 months into talking, he texted me, and this is a green flag because like this is him not playing games. He texted me at like 8:30 in the morning and was like, I hope you have a safe flight. Like that was it. Because he knew I was flying to like, it was one of our Pink Whitney tours and I had an early flight and he was just like, hey Jordyn, I hope you have a safe flight and a great time and XYZ, like looking forward to seeing you when you get back. It's just like a sweet little text.
That is so cute. Just thoughtful. He was being thoughtful.
Yeah. So that was probably his biggest green.
Yeah, those are really good green flags though. Just taking like the time to think about, like not everybody does that. And it's not a bad thing that they don't, but it's just like that's your version of feeling loved, which is incredible.
Yeah, and I feel like red and green flags, like there's like the ones that are for everyone, but then like you have like your red and green flags for just yourself based off of like what you've gone through, because some people won't even think twice about if someone plans far in advance. Like to them that's not a flag at all, but if you tell someone, hey, my time's really precious to me, I really would appreciate if we could plan ahead of time, and then they don't take that into initiative, then I'm like, that's a personal red flag.
Totally agree. Yeah, and then they're just not even listening to you of like how you like to be loved.
Yeah. So then what we did is we asked you guys to send us some scenarios where you're asking us if they're red flags or not. So we're going to read them and let you know if we think these are red flags or if they're not a flag at all. Maybe they're a beige flag.
Yeah. Okay. Do you want to go first or second? Second, shorter.
I'll go second. I'll try to read the shorter ones.
Okay. Let's talk about traveling and airport anxiety and checking a bag versus not checking a bag versus packing. And you know what? Base has solved all of our problems. They've thought of everything you could ever want in a piece of luggage. And it's so true. I'm looking at mine right now over there on the floor with 360-degree gliding wheels, a cushion handle, built-in weight indicator, which is so key, washable bags for your dirty clothes, all the interior pockets you need to keep organized. Their luggage comes in multiple sizes and colors. It is so cute. It is so practical. It seriously is. Like, if you're going to Europe this summer and you need to pack everything in a carry-on just in case they lose your bag, like, their carry-on sizes are big, their luggages are so practical, so every piece is made to look better with miles, so you don't have to worry about the cargo or overhead. Base has over 30,000 five-star reviews for a reason. So right now, Base is offering our listeners 15% off your purchase by visiting basetravel.com/meangirl. BEIS travel.com/meangirl. Go to basetravel.com/meangirl for 15% off your first purchase. BEIS. Okay, enjoy. Okay, so my partner is the most committed and loving partner I've ever had. We've been together 3+ years and lived together. We both have pretty stable careers at this point and make very similar salaries. The potential issue is, though my savings are in order, I'm paying down debts, own my home in my name, and I'm overall just more focused on my finances. Our spending is about the same estimated bills, and we both don't overspend. I'm 27 and he is 32. I do have an expensive hobby, horses, and he does not. We both have financial goals to save for the future, but I feel like I'm alone in saving in our finances forever. I feel stuck and responsible for this outcome of our life. Is this a red flag?
What do you think? I feel like you're so good about finances.
I don't feel like it's a red flag.
Like, you and Harrison have a good grasp.
Yeah, I don't feel like this is a red flag at all. I think that he just needs to change his mindset. Like, if you walk him to the water, I bet this guy can drink because he's clearly like career driven. You're not saying he doesn't have a job. You're saying he saves and spends a little differently than you. So I think zero problem.
Yeah, I don't think it's a red flag either, because it's more of, I think, just like how much he values something, and if he knows how, he probably has no idea you have these thoughts. So if he knew it was a concern of yours, he'd be like, oh my gosh, I would love to start saving more so you don't have that burden on your shoulder. It just sounds like miscommunication more than a red flag.
Yeah, I agree. Like, it could become a red flag, but I would imagine you could squash this bug if you talked about it.
Yeah. Okay. I'll read the next one. Okay. Is asking really deep or personal questions before going on a first date a red flag? For example, I was talking to this guy for a week after we met at a bar. We scheduled a date, but before going on the date, he started asking very detailed questions like where I want to live in the future and if I would stay where I am now if something were to happen between us. I understand asking those questions, but I feel like it's a little too soon. Is this a red flag? I personally feel like it is, because in my mind, he might be wanting a relationship for the wrong reasons. Like, he's ready to jump into one. Like, from my experience of dating, people who get like a little love bomby or get like start asking the personal questions a little too early, it's either because, one, they just want a relationship so bad and like they just don't want to be alone, or two, they have like that love bombing tendency that's a little toxic and like need to have a little bit more better boundaries.
Yeah, I think when you ask somebody these questions, you like the idea of a person and it's blocking you from liking the person. So he wants you to check in a box and fill in his score, when it's like, what if he has like the best connection with you on the planet, but you want to live in Spain? He might be down, like, love can make you do crazy things. You might be down to move to Spain, but this is hi, Pete. Yeah.
He just got done riding a bike.
There we go. We love an appearance.
He has today off, so he's enjoying the sunny day. Let me read the second one too, because it's also short, if that's okay. And then I'll let you take the last ones. Okay, so, but yeah, well, wait, do we agree that's a red flag?
Yes, that's a red flag, yeah.
Yes. Okay, next one. Is it a red flag that he's unemotional? I'm very emotional and sometimes feel like he can't understand why I'm upset. We get along so well and we're best friends, but sometimes I feel like we're not connecting on an emotional level that I experienced in previous relationships. Is this a red flag? I don't think so. I think it's just the way he is as a person, and it sounds like you guys have different love languages maybe. I don't think he's unemotional in a negative way. I think that's just the type of person he is, and you might need a partner that is a little bit more emotional. Like, it can be as simple as just not being compatible with an emotional IQ.
Yeah, and I think this could be learned, right? Like, you could teach him that. You don't want somebody that maybe matches your EQ totally. So I wouldn't say this isn't malicious. Like, this is something that can change. Yeah. So I think this is totally fine, especially if you like have feelings for him.
And maybe it could turn into a red flag if he chooses never to get on your level or like makes you feel bad for being emotional, like if he's like, why are you so sensitive, can you stop being so emotional, like your emotionalness is exhausting, then I think that can be a bit of a red flag because it sounds like he's being a little emotionally abusive with his words. But I think if you have a nice conversation and he works on it, I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Yeah, I totally agree. So no red flag.
Yeah.
Okay, my boyfriend and I have been dating for 4 months. On my birthday a month ago, he turned into a completely different person. He knows how important my birthday is to me, and during my birthday dinner, one of my guy friends made a joke that was making fun of Boston. My boyfriend is from Boston, and he completely lashed out at my friend. When I asked him what was wrong, he told me to shut the fuck up in front of all my friends. I pulled him to the bathroom to explain that was not okay. He calmed down and we continued to go to the bar where he continued to drink and it escalated. He continued to have a poor attitude and him and I were arguing the entire night about it. He made me cry. I've never seen him so angry before over something that to me seemed so small. It honestly scared me. Is this a red flag?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It makes me scared because like when people change, I feel like I've heard so many stories where girls are like, he was so great in the beginning, he was so loving, and then one day he just turned into such a mean person, and I'm like, run. Like, this sounds kind of like a psychopath, or someone with very bad anger issues. I feel like people don't show their true colors when they have a little bit of a psychopath tendency or anger issue tendency, so I would run.
Yeah, especially on your birthday, like that was your day. And then you're gonna have to make a case. Like, I'm trying to think of a scenario where if somebody told me to shut the F up in front of my friends that we could get over that. Like, I don't know. Unless, like, it would need to be something so intense where, like, I'm going off on a subject and, like, that person's mom died doing that subject. Like, something like that where they're like, stop talking. And then they finally say, Alex, shut the F up. Other than that, I don't even think then. Like, I actually don't think that works because I just need you to calmly say, be quiet.
Yeah, that's actually such a good point. Like, what friend would allow you to stay in that relationship?
Like, what's the scenario Pete can tell you to shut the F up in front of your friends or behind closed doors and it's okay? I don't know what. I can't think of one.
Oh my God, that's such a good point. Yeah, especially over something so simple as making a joke about Boston. Could you imagine someone making a joke about Oklahoma and you just getting so angry? Or like, in what world?
That I would look at somebody and be like, shut the fuck up. No.
He's that this is like probably the most red flag story we've heard so far.
Yeah, that is, unfortunately, I'm sorry, that is a red flag.
Do you want me to read the next one, then I'll give you the listener question?
Yeah, that's great.
It's short.
Yeah.
Okay, last red flag story. My boyfriend and I have 5 years, recently moved in together, and he labels chores as pink or blue jobs, boy versus girl jobs around the house. I feel like I've traveled back to the 60s. Is he totally wrong? Is this a red flag?
That could be hilarious. Like, we need, like, I don't know. Like, do you, like, he has a sense of humor maybe, or is he being a dick?
Well, and it's like, is he making this mandatory, like, where he's forcing you to do the quote unquote girl jobs that's like cooking and cleaning, and he is doing the blue jobs, which would be, I guess, like mowing the lawn and changing light bulbs?
Right.
Because that could be a little toxic and red flaggish, where he's like, you have to cook dinner tonight.
Right. Or is he like, that's a pink job, honey? Because, like, that's hilarious. And, like, I get what he's doing. But is he, like, dead serious?
Well, and also you would think someone who's been dating for 5 years would know their tendencies. Like, I'm sure they've cooked meals together before in the past. Like, why would just moving in together turn this into this type of situation?
Right. Like, if he's a misogynist, you know by now.
Right? Yeah. So it depends on the like how severe he is about these labels.
Yeah. Like, that could be really funny. But if he's, like, dead serious, no, I think that could be a red flag. Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's funny.
Yeah. Use your discretion.
Okay. But thank you guys for sending those in. We love your stories. They're so fun to read.
Yeah, the red flags are good.
Yeah.
Okay, listener.
And now we'll do our listener question.
My best friend and I met in high school. She was going through a breakup, and I was in the market for a new best friend. So we kind of had that trauma bonded and hung out every day. I brought her into my friend group, family trips, etc. Last summer, she got a new boyfriend that that I hated. He cheated on one of my other friends and just has a bad reputation. Despite this, we stayed friends and they've been off and on for 2 years now. A few months ago, I went to visit her and him and I got into a big argument. I didn't say anything to her while I was there, but I told her the week after. She didn't believe my side of the story, but said she wanted to stay friends. I got upset with her and told her if she did not trust me, we shouldn't be friends. She asked to talk. I said yes, but we just never got around to it. My B-Day trip's in July, and she's not invited as of now, but I think she already took work off. Personally, I don't want her to come anymore. Is it bad if I never say anything to her and let the friendship die? Well, I thought the question was going to be like around friends not believing your side.
Yeah.
But I feel like she doesn't. So she answered that and she's over it. If she's not going to believe her side, she's kicking her to the curb, which I think there's a case to be made on both sides. So now that we know she's doing that path, can she let the friendship die? You know what? I'm feeling a yes today. I'm feeling yes.
You know, I am too. We're at the age too where, I mean, if a friendship doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. And letting a friendship slow fizzle, I think, is better than having like that we're not friends anymore conversation. Like more of like the growing apart. So I say, let it just fizzle out. Let it slowly die. And if she does ask about your birthday, then you can have the larger conversation. Just be like, hey, like we haven't talked. I didn't think you'd want to come anymore. But in this situation, yeah, I don't think anything's wrong with this.
I agree. And I think if the friend wants, she's kind of picked her boyfriend and that's okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if I could be friends with someone who is like, listen, I don't believe you. I believe my boyfriend, but let's still be friends. I'd be like, okay, well, I value trust, and if we don't if you don't ever trust me, then I don't know if this friendship's gonna work.
Right, no question. So I think you're fine to let it fizzle, and she can ask you, but no worries.
Yeah, you're a good girl.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Should we quick finish with Rex?
Yes.
Okay, so my rec is, so for my birthday, Julie and Alex got me a base travel bag, which I'm obsessed with, by the way. I love the little undercarriage zipper. You can just fit everything in there. But then they stashed it with Dibs Beauty. Dibs Beauty products are so underrated. Their formulas are stunning. And like you guys got me the highlighter and this lip gloss that I love. I have the highlighter on right now. And I also now have the contour sticks. I'm just like, why is Dibs Beauty not a bigger deal? So that's my rec.
Okay, love that. So
thank you guys again.
Anything from Dibs Beauty?
Yes, I really, really like that. I think you would like it too, when you feel like you want to wear makeup again, because it's a very natural beauty line.
Yes, and I think that's founded by Courtney Shields, and I see her make videos putting it on, and I'm like, when I do feel better, it does look luscious to wear. So that's a great rec.
Oh my God, love that. And she's a mom, so she knows what moms want.
Yeah, she's a mom. Yeah,
that's perfect.
She's a cute mom. She like people like her give me like, I'm like, you know, mom. She's like a hot mom. She's got it going on.
I love that.
Yeah, me too. So I'm like, all right, cool. Okay, my rec is ROAM sandals. They have them on Revolve. And I've just been living in them because they're so comfortable, but they're also really cute. So if you need...
Wait, do you mean the style or is that a brand?
It's a brand, ROAM. And they come, in a day, and they're comfy and they're cute. So ROAM sandals.
ROAM sandals. I'm going to look those up. I thought you meant like the Roman style sandals. And I was like, Alex, those cannot be comfortable on your... calves.
No.
I'm dead. Okay, awesome.
Okay, great. Well, thanks everyone.
Yeah, we'll talk to you guys next week.
Yeah, we sure will.
Oh, wait. Or is next week will be the old episode, right? Yeah. Actually, we won't talk to you guys next week. We're taking the 4th of July week off. And then we will be back. We'll put out an old episode, and then we'll be back July 8th with you guys. So we hope everyone enjoys their 4th when they're listening to this too.
Yeah, enjoy your 4th of July. Enjoy summer. It's flying by, kind of.
Yeah. It really is. Okay. Bye, guys.
Okay, that's it for today's episode. As always, thank you for listening to Mean Girl Pod, powered by Just Media House. I'm Alex Bennett.
And I'm Jordyn Woodruff. So, AB, do what you do best.
If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, rate, and review. We are at Mean Girl Pod on all platforms. Stay connected with us on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and Snapchat at Mean Girl Pod. Podcast and social artwork and post-production by Creative Evolution Studios. Theme song to the Mean Girl Pod performed by Sergi Asbel. Mean Girl Pod, we're your besties in your ear. New episodes every Monday.